Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your role at Alcoa?
Okay. Look, I've been working in the HR profession for about 25 years now, and I've been with Alcoa almost 4. And the way in which the business is structured, one of the groups is Global Rolled Products, and the Australian Rolled Products business is part of that, and I've got responsibility for the broad HR function within that part of the business.
Right. So as a senior HR manager at Alcoa, no doubt that the HR landscape has changed dramatically over the years. What has been the biggest shift in your experience?
Look, I think one of the things that we're seeing as a trend is trying to create more consistency in HR practices and tools globally. We do a lot more benchmarking of our practices, not just against other Alcoa operations, but against other large global corporates, to make sure that we are pursuing best practices and that we are not just efficient but also effective.
That's interesting. And in terms of leadership, can you tell us what does leadership mean to you?
Look, I think leadership's a really interesting concept, and I think it's very much about being able to act in a consistent and confident way to provide guidance, support and development for the people so that they're making an effective contribution to the business. And that involves a wide range of things to actually be able to achieve that. And I think it's one of those things that is critically important in business but very hard to define. And if you're in an engineering business like ours, people are looking for a definite definition. It's really hard to deliver that.
Yeah. So why did you choose the CLE program?
We'd had a gap in our leadership development programs at Australia Rolled Products for a number of years, and some of that was driven by the fact that we had been performing fairly poorly from a financial perspective. We had a new MD appointed, and at the same time the Alcoa Corporation worldwide had introduced a set of competencies that was going to underpin all of our talent management and development practices. So really a number of things came together that said this is an opportunity for us to develop a leadership program that was going to help us support and drive the competency requirements that we had of our leaders.
Right. And what was it like to work with DeakinPrime?
Look, it's been a really good experience from the time of engaging Deakin, working together to get a scope and pull the materials together. And I think having worked in the learning and development space over a period of time, this has probably been one of those relationships that's truly been a partnership where Deakin have really brought some great value to the table, but they've listened to the needs of the business, and the product is what I would say has been truly tailored and developed for us.
Wonderful. And have you seen any changes in the workplace as a result of the program?
Look, I think we've been through a lot of cultural change over certainly the last 3 years, and I in discussing where we're at with the executive team, it's clear that in a number of areas we would have struggled to deliver that level of change if we hadn't been growing and developing our leaders in part through this program.
Great. And what feedback have you had informally about the program?
And I think the informal feedback is probably the most powerful. Filling out the assessment at the end of the program, you know, we've been getting good stuff. But when people stop you and say, you know, that was great, I got, you know, these things out of the day, and then you hear similar things from their managers. You know, they've been back in the business, they've been talking about it. And then we've also had managers who have stopped us and said, I've noticed this happening with these individuals. So we've been able to see some evidence of changes in behaviour, changes in which people have approached things actually on the job.
Fantastic, wonderful. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.